This episode of Discovering the Universe was brought to you by Stonebridge Psychiatric Associates of Tiverton, Rhode Island. In this podcast, we talk about the personal struggles of people just like you. If you or someone you know feels in any way anxious or displeased with their inner nature, Stonebridge is there to help every step of the way. Visit StonebridgePsychiatricAssociates.com for contact information or to schedule an appointment today and get the help you deserve. We love helping people get to know themselves like never before, which is why Discovering the Universe is a proud partner of 23andMe, a revolutionary DNA health and ancestry testing service delivered right to your door. Learn more about your traits, ancestry, and wellness with one easy test and start rediscovering what makes you, you. And right now, our listeners can get 20% off their first kit with promo code DISCOVER5. Visit 23andme.com to order. Hello, everybody. You're listening to Discovering the Universe, a look into the ways that we categorize ourselves based on our personalities. From the Myers-Briggs type indicator to Hogwarts houses, each week guests will share their experiences of developing a sense of identity and how their personality shapes the decisions they make each day. Discover what makes you, you, and how others like you have made the most of their personalities. Today on Discovering the Universe, it's ENFP. Welcome everyone, I'm your host Bradley Simpson and I have a very special guest with me today, a fellow Salve Regina student theater major, Julia Curtin.
Hello.
For those of you out there that don't know, the Myers-Briggs type indicator is a wildly popular personality test developed in the mid-20th century, which looks to indicate how people perceive the world around them and how they make decisions. Julia is what's known as an ENFP, which stands for extroverted, intuitive, feeling, and perceiving. ENFPs are true free spirits. They are often the life of the party, but are less interested in the sheer excitement and pleasure of the moment than they are in enjoying the social and emotional connections that they make with others. They're charming, independent, energetic, and compassionate, and they can certainly be felt in any crowd. Is there anything of that description that really stands out to you as really holding true in your own experience?
Yeah, I think listening to that, I was tracking with it, and it said, like, life of the party, and for a minute, I was like, maybe it derailed, but I can definitely understand where they're coming from and saying that what they really value is social connection. I know for me, like, the most important thing in my life is really, like, making a strong connection with other individuals. Like, being able to, like, look somebody in the eye and just form that bond, whether it be with, like, just somebody you're in line with at CVS or, like, a really close friend. I really value human connection. It's something that's wildly important to me. I know the nickname for the type is called the campaigner. And I can see very much where that would apply for me, because I know that I like to go out there. I like to talk to people. I like to get people's opinions. I like to know what's going on with the people around me and not just make superficial connections, but truly, like, I don't know, just understand the people around me a lot better. I think it's interesting that all the other ENFPs I have known have been in the arts. I'm an acting major. You are also in that field, and it's funny because we're wildly different.
Although my type is INFP.
Okay, so actually we're not wildly different.
Not that different.
We're the same except you're introverted.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
Where we derive our energy is different.
Right, exactly. But I do think it's interesting that NFP combination is so common in the arts because, as you said, it really helps with thinking quickly on your feet, with improvising. But I think, that ability to emotionally connect to other human beings is so important.
Okay. I'm going to read off some strengths and weaknesses here, and we'll see how much you connect to and how much you don't. So it says that ENFPs are curious, observant, energetic, and enthusiastic. Any of those really ring true to you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's very much things that, characteristics you have to have to kind of excel in the fields that we've talked about.
Yep. Excellent communicators, know how to relax.
Okay, so maybe we found the first one that doesn't apply to me. I don't know how to relax. That's not a skill of mine. I literally have taken extra classes and taken on other jobs so I don't have spare time because I don't know what to do with unstructured time. But I mean, I guess, yeah, no, I think that that's the one box that I maybe don't tick.
That's a weakness. Speaking of weaknesses, let's see, we got here poor practical skills.
Yeah.
When it comes to conceiving ideas and starting projects, especially involving other people, ENFPs have exceptional talent. Unfortunately, their skill with upkeep, administration, and follow-through on these projects struggle.
Yeah, I think that that's true.
Can you give me an example of a situation you were in that you really played to your strengths as an ENFP? Knowing maybe your lack of organization skills, how do you get around that?
I worked at a bridal salon for quite a while. I sold wedding gowns, and it was arguably the greatest job I've ever had. And I knew that perhaps the business side of thing, talking dollars and cents with people, talking scheduling, talking all of that, were not always my strong suit. But one of my coworkers at the salon was very quiet, very introverted, very shy, but had a very sharp brain for numbers, was absolutely very organized. Like, it was ridiculous. This woman was so organized. It was incredible. I mean, everything she did was a fine-oiled machine. But I think that what I would do is I would form the emotional connection with the client. I would really talk to the client. I would find out what she wanted, what she was looking for, what her budget was. And I would find all the dresses. And the minute we had to cinch that sale, I would bring in Stephanie. I knew that when she and I could tag team that, where I found the dress and she did all the number crunching, that was how, we had this really great tag team dynamic.
All right, so kind of transitioning here. Do you think there is a connection between your Myers-Briggs personality type and your Hogwarts house? I know you are a very proud Hufflepuff and have very strong opinions on this.
Oh, yes. In my specific case, it makes a lot of sense. I think that it's not difficult to see the tie between ENFPs and Hufflepuffs because the key characteristics are loyalty, hardworking, kind, empathetic, caring, loyal. You know what I mean? And I feel like the connection there is obvious for me, and very much the reasons why I pride myself on being a Hufflepuff are the same reasons why I am happy to say that I am an ENFP.
All right, to wrap things up, everybody knows their Hogwarts house, I feel. And people more and more know their MBTI types. It's popular. These systems that we use to categorize ourselves, why do you think it's so appealing, and do you think it's important?
It's funny. It's kind of a double-edged sword. There's a sense of community that it brings, and also a sense of individuality that it brings.
It's tribalism, I believe, is the new word for it.
Yeah.
People forming connections with other people based on common things that they like, and especially for Hogwarts, fandoms that they're in.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a very easy way of saying, if you wear a Hufflepuff hat, it puts forth the message, I'm friendly, I like people, talk to me, I like hugs, I like tea. You know what I mean? It puts, it is a very succinct way of saying, here's the basic archetype of my personality. At the end of the day, what are we other than a collection of interests and beliefs and moral convictions?
We're all just trying to get through.
I mean, I feel like those three things really, that's what's at the heart of a person. And so I think that is, a lot of why things like Hogwarts houses bear so much weight in our generation, is because we're so desperate to be individuals and have our own identity, but also to connect. And so I think that's where a lot of that kind of comes into play.
That's all we have time for today. Thank you so much, Julia, for joining me, and to all our listeners, make sure to tune in next week.